horseshoeing, a trade also known as farriery. To begin, let's take a look at the structures of the hoof. First, let's look at the internal bone structures. We see the third distal phalanx, the navicular bone, the second phalanx, the first phalanx, the cannon bone, and the proximal sesamoid. These sets of bones comprise the phalanges. Now for the external structures. These include the hoof wall, the frog, the sole, the epidermal laminae, the sulcus, the bars, heel bulbs, and the problematic issues, the abscess and the hoof crack. Here's the process for trimming a shod hoof. First, the hoof must be cleaned out with a hoof pick so as not to leave any debris that can get in the way of the tools. After cleaning out the hoof, one must cut the clinches. This is done using the eye-shaped tool called the clinch cutter and a hammer. Placing the wedged part of the tool against the clinch, I'll get to what those are in a little while. The tool is hit with a hammer to break the clinch backwards. After this is done, the shoe must be taken off. Farriers do this with a hoof puller. To remove the shoe, the hoof puller is put around the shoe and is pulled in a direction that will not harm the animal, but will pull the nails out of the hoof. When the shoe is off, the excess growth of the sole is cut away using a hoof knife. This tissue will grow back and does not hurt the horse unless one cuts too deeply. Next, the hoof wall is trimmed. The hoof wall is just like a fingernail in every way, from what it's made of to how it grows, so it makes sense that it should be trimmed like one also. This tool is called a hoof nipper, and it's just a giant nail clippers. This is another important step as one does not want to take off too much and unbalance the horse. When the hoof wall is trimmed, the hoof is balanced using a rack so that both sides are equal. The left is no longer than the right, and vice versa. This is also when the outside of the hoof is shored up to obtain the proper hoof angle. Next, a new shoe is fitted, or the old one, if it's not too worn, is replaced on the hoof. These can be either nailed on or glued on. We're nailing them on, and after the nails are through, they're bent over so they won't harm the farrier if the horse feels like pulling his hoof out from between the farrier's legs. After the nails are in, the farrier turns to the outside of the hoof and clips off the nails sticking out. When the nails are cut, the farrier rasps off a little hoof wall under each of the nails so that there's a small space for the nails to fit into when the farrier makes the clinches. Next, he cleans up the hoof's edge so that it matches the edge of the shoe. The farrier now takes the clinch tool and bends the nails down further to make the clinches. These are what we cut off at the start of the process, and they're just to hold the shoe on better. After making the clinches, the farrier cleans up the appearance of the hoof with a rasp to make it look nice. And the job is done.